Problem 19 says find the exact value of the tangent of 5 pi over 8. So first we need to convert 5 pi over 8 into degrees. So we multiply it by 180 over pi. And our pi's can cancel out. So we get 900 over 8, which equals 112.5 degrees. And we can't find an exact value of the tangent of 112.5 degrees, but if we multiply 112.5 degrees times 2, we get 225 degrees, and we do have an exact value for that. So we can use our half-angle formulas. So the tangent of 225 degrees over 2, which is the same as 112.5 degrees. Using our half-angle formula, we get the square root of 1 minus cosine 225 degrees over 1 plus the cosine of 225 degrees. And if we were to look at a unit circle, we would see that 225 degrees is somewhere in this third quadrant, and tangent is negative here. So we know that our square root is going to be negative. The cosine of 225 degrees is negative root 2 over 2, so we can substitute negative root 2 over 2 in for cosine of 225 degrees. So we get the tangent of 225 degrees over 2 equals the negative square root of 1 minus negative root 2 over 2 over 1 plus negative root 2 over 2. To make this a little easier, we can turn our 1's into 2 over 2. 1 is equal to 2 over 2, they're still the same. It'll just give us common denominators to work with. So then we will have the negative square root of 2 over 2. These two negatives will give us a positive root 2 over 2. And then on the bottom we have 2 over 2 minus root 2 over 2. Now that we have common denominators, we can add those together easier. Sorry, I'll scoot it up a little bit. So I'll write this nice and big so you can see it easy. We have 2 plus root 2 over 2 over 2 minus root 2 over 2. And all of that is a negative square root. So we've got this big fraction. And we can make this a little easier to work with if we flip this bottom fraction over and multiply it by the top part. So then we get the negative square root of 2 plus root 2 over 2 times 2 over 2 minus root 2 over 2. So we just flip this bottom part over and multiply them together. Our 2's will cancel out and we're left with the negative square root of 2 plus root 2 over 2 minus root 2. To make this bottom part easier to work with, we can multiply the top and bottom by 2 minus root 2, and then we've got a perfect square on the bottom, so we can bring this out of the radical. So we have negative, sorry, I'm just going to rewrite this, 2 plus root 2 over 2 minus root 2 times 2 minus root 2 over 2 minus root 2. So this will give us the negative square root of 2 plus root 2 times 2 minus root 2 over 2 minus root 2 squared. And like we said, we can now bring this out of the radical because it's a perfect square. So now we have on the bottom 2 minus root 2, and on the top when we multiply this out, we get a root 2 on the top. And now we can multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of 2 minus root 2. So we can multiply the top and bottom by 2 plus root 2. Sorry, multiply the top and bottom by 2 plus root 2. And so 2 times negative root 2 is negative 2 root 2. And root 2 times negative root 2 is negative 2. So negative 2 root 2 minus 2, that's our top. And the bottom, we already did this up here, and we know that the answer is root 2. Sorry, we know that the answer is 2. and we can cancel out the 2's, and now we have negative root 2 minus 1, and there's our answer.